Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. In this video, I would like to analyze the scenarios of Putin, Zelensky and possibly Trump meeting if it occurs in Istanbul. I will discuss the possibility and probability of a meeting, a summit between the three or the two, because it can't be only, it might not be only Zelensky with Putin, might be only Zelensky with Trump. All right, or Putin, Zelensky and Trump. These are, or none of these guys. All right, so I will analyze what could possibly a meeting between the three could look like, looking at past behavior, which is the White House, the Oval Office behavior, for instance. And if, let's say, you would be the Russian president, you would like to participate in this kind of bazaar negotiations, in this kind of circus, clown show. All right, so I made a video earlier today, and if you stick around at the end of this video, probably is going to be appearing as a suggestion for you to watch it, where I enumerated and I discussed the topics, the Russian delegation's topics for Istanbul, if they show up, and the Ukrainians' agenda or topics for the talks. And if you know some geometry, think about this: parallel and equidistant. You know what it is? All right, go and watch this video, and you're going to find out what each delegation will bring. Now, both delegations, both countries said they will send delegations to Istanbul. And I'm going to start with the Russians. This is according to 14th of May. This is today, Wednesday, 2025. Russian delegation will be waiting for Ukrainians in Istanbul, the Kremlin. Will Putin show up? I don't think Putin will show up. Why? I don't think you just show up like that as a surprise guest. Hey, I'm right here. Why? Because a lot of details must be put in place, you know, so it doesn't get blown up or anything like that. And I don't think he would. He never said he will. Zelensky said he will show up only if Putin agrees to a ceasefire. Putin did not agree to a ceasefire. Trump said, I might show up if these guys show up. I don't think he's going to show up. So this is the information as of right now, who's going to show up. Trump said, I might. I have nothing scheduled, he said. Zelensky said, I will only if Putin agrees to a ceasefire by 12th of May. 12th of May was 2 days ago. Putin did not agree to that. So Zelensky has no reason to show up under his statements. And Putin never said he will show up. He said, this is going to be my delegation. But he didn't name the delegation yet. Well, so as of now, the Russians said, we will be over there. The Ukrainians said that they will be over there. Actually, today is a NATO meeting in Istanbul as well. That's very strange. On the 14th is the NATO ministers meeting over there, including the foreign minister of Ukraine. But Ukraine is not part of NATO. How is that working? But hey, we want to discuss negotiations with Russia. All right, so let's go here. Let's start with let's go over the articles first. Okay, so this is Russian delegation will be awaiting for Ukrainians in Istanbul. The names of the officials representing Moscow will be announced in due time. Dmitry Peskov, this is the 10-17, 14 of May. 10-17, I'm assuming is Russian time because right now here where I live is not 10-17. So that'd be 17, that probably was 3 o'clock a.m. where I live in Eastern United States of America, Eastern time. So that would 3 a.m. because I think it's 7 hours Eastern time USA with Moscow. All right, or if you want, I think it's 7 hours. Nevertheless, if 8 hours, but I think it's 7. Next one. We got Russian delegation, wait for Ukrainian side Istanbul. This is from Sputnik. So they said, this is 2 hours ago. Again, updated 2 hours ago. They will be over there, it says. Right here, Moscow, the Russian team will be in Istanbul on May 15th. Peskov said, indeed, the Russian delegation will be waiting for the Ukrainian delegations in Istanbul on May 15th, Thursday. That is tomorrow. I can only confirm once again that everything the president said in his statement on May 11 remains relevant. All right, so that's what it is. Next one. Ukraine ready for any format of talks. But, I will never cheat on you, but if it's Monday, I might. This is basically what this guy says. I'm ready for any format, but with one condition. What the fuck? So we're gonna have two Jews coming and talking to the Russians, which is Yermak, and this is Zelensky. I mean, how do you like that? But they represent Ukraine. And Vitkov represents United States of America as a U.S. envoy to the Middle East, but he deals with Russia and Ukraine. They're going to have a hora over there, and everybody's going to join in. Havana, Gila, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Who's going to do that? God damn it. Anyway, and the precondition, this guy says, is, what do you think? The condition is complete ceasefire by Moscow. That means, you know what? We're not going to might not show up, actually. It's unbelievable how it's a theory of, or how should I say, reality, or not even reality, how should I put it, of inversions. Up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left, good is bad. It's these guys are losing, are not even doing rope-a-dope. They're like Tyson Fury with Usyk. The first fight was like, going. Remember that fight? And so he couldn't even get his arm up, and that's what Ukraine is right now. You see that infamous picture of Tyson Fury? He's like, don't hit me, bro. This is where they are, and they say, hey, I set conditions. I'm gonna knock the shit out of you. And this is Russia. It's unbelievable, man. So that's why we set conditions. Why would I listen to your conditions? Smack. Anyway, so that's what he said, a precondition. And then I have this article right here, where Putin said plans to talk to Putin about ceasefire, prisoners exchange. Yeah, but how about the ceasefire? Because he said, I'm going to show up only if this guy agrees to ceasefire. If I meet with him, we'll need to achieve a political win, such as ceasefire, a full prisoner swap, and something similar. All right, these are what he said. Will not trust the Russians, because the Russians will trust you. With the Minsk agreements, 100%, they will not. They will not. So again, he says, I might not. And we have Lula da Silva, Brazilian president, pledges to push Putin towards talks in Istanbul. All right, so what happened? Lula da Silva participates in a Far East meeting, and he's going to travel to Moscow and then go to Brazil or wherever he goes. And he said, I would like to talk to Putin. I want to make him go over there. I don't think things could be solved just like this unless they were discussed behind the scenes weeks prior to this. These guys are not showing up like we go, get in your car and go to New York City. I mean, a lot of people want to see you, you know what I mean? And so it's not going to be like that. Okay, let's scenarios. Let's say they meet. Let's say if we have Putin will act the same way. I always saw him acting one way, which is professional. I mean, go and watch each and every meeting or conversation Putin had. And it's a fact. Go and check it out. It's right there. Trump will act the way he acts. He's going to be the boss. He tries to be. But he's going to be pleasant, because I saw him how he interacted with Putin the first time in Helsinki. So he was decent. Now we have Zelensky. Zelensky is the variable here. If he reaches his critical, then he's going to be bad. If he doesn't take his right amount of cocaine from Macron, the president of France, then he might act, how he acted at the Oval Office. That was not a person under, normal circumstances. However you want it. How can you figure it out? Look at this guy's Zelensky-Stein's behavior before that. I mean, besides being a clown that he was, there's nothing wrong with being a comedian, my friends, right? Nothing wrong with that. But anyway, clowns are also comedians. So, nevertheless, look at his behavior in a real interaction before he became president and the war started, with what he is right now. You can say, well, that's stress, you don't understand. That could be. But a lot of people under stress start drinking a lot, snorting a lot, getting a lot. I'm not saying he does that, but I'm not a baboon either. I work with people who have this kind of problems. And I can recognize the duck if the duck acts like a duck, talks like a duck, and jerks off like a duck. So that's what I think is right there. So if Putin is going to see Zelensky acting like in the Oval Office, that's a risk. He's gonna be ba 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 ba, like they do with the chutzpah in the bazaar. Putin, I think he's gonna maintain his composure. Actually, his training is gonna play a part in that, and not only, maybe, even though I made a video a while ago when Putin said I feel all the time to punch these guys in the face. Go and watch it. I think 2 weeks ago. How Putin really says he feels. That's something like that's the title. And he's gonna probably say, okay, it's nice, you can play as the baboon. Why? Because that would be for everybody to see again your behavior. I know there will be some people who say, yes, Zelensky stuck it to Putin. Others will say, well, no, that's strike number 2 or 3. So I don't know, my friends. And that behavior is really disrespectful. Okay, Putin, but you decided to show up. Then behave like a mensch, to mention the Zelensky-Stein's words. And then Trump, what is he going to do? Trump is going to expose himself to another Oval Office if this guy behaves like that. Now, if, let's say, Zelensky behaves normally and is get his dose of that, and he becomes unagitated and is going to be mellow, then the conversations, the meeting could be going, and then it could be like this. Could be a decision made. That means Zelensky is not going to show up in Ukraine again, probably. He's going to go straight to London or New York, because those guys in Kiev will him. I'm just kidding. Or, it's not going to be anything but I tell you this, I tell you that. I suspect, I go by probabilities and possibilities. Is it possible they meet? Yeah, 100% they could meet. Is it possible they don't meet? Yeah, it's possible they don't meet. And now, is it probable that they will meet? I don't think they will meet because of Putin. Putin said nothing about joining or going over there. Nothing. And today is the 14th. Tomorrow is supposed to go over there. Mind you, right now is what? It's about 4 o'clock Moscow time, PM. So let's say 1600. So if this is the time, do you think it's going to show up tomorrow just like that, unannounced? Do you think nobody in Turkey picked up hey, what's going on over there? Who's coming here? Is something wrong here? Or it's going to be an overlap with a NATO summit, with the foreign ministers? I don't know. I don't think they're going to show up. Putin is not going to show up. The other guy is not going to show up. Or maybe the other guy is going to show up, which is Zelensky, just to show the whole world. Because remember, in a debate, it's not if you're right or wrong. In a debate is if you won the audience. That's what it is. In a debate, you win if you win the audience. You can be wrong 100%. The audience will say you're right. The media will say you're right. And even if you lost the debate, that's what matters. The same in a conversation with someone, with your neighbor, you argue, and other neighbors. You have to win the debate. You don't have to be right. Why? Always manufacture your debate according to your audience. If you figure out the audience is low IQ, keep it that way. Go as low as you can until they're like, it was too low even for me. Okay, then up it a notch. That's how it is. Now, Lula can go and tell Putin, go over there, but it's not like that. It doesn't work that way. I tell you today, baby doll, you should go tomorrow to the prom. No, not really. So it depends on Trump. He can't do anything. Everything is on Putin. And I know the media will portray him as sabotaging the peace talks. He's against peace. Therefore, we have to act militarily. See, there's nothing there. They will ignore anything the Russians will say. Like small steps. These guys are, no, I want you to do this. Who the hell are you? You're like, what's his name? Tyson Fury in a ring. Go and watch. It's a picture like that. He's like, exactly like that. Exactly like that. I'm not making fun of Tyson Fury. That was the first thing that came into my mind. He was like almost knocked out, saved by the referee. The guy, he saved him. It was something that he should have let to see what's going on. You either stop the fight because the guy is incapacitated, or let the guy knock the out of the guy, which I would have liked to see. All right, not because I like Usyk, which I do like Usyk. I think he's a complete fighter, minus his abdominal weakness. Everything else is fantastic and Usyk. And that was not a low blow, just so you know, with the black guy that punched him. That was not a low blow. I fought full contact. I know where the low blow is. and it was way above the balls, unless his balls are up to the chest. You see those boxes when they come with their trunks up to here, so here is where the trunks are. What the fuck is that? And if you hit them below that, it's below belt. No, it's not like that, man. If you have your trunks up to your neck. Anyway, do you see those funny guys? Tyson Fury shows up with his trunks up to the neck. He doesn't want the boobs up. And up underneath is the trunk. All right, or the pants, so I want to call them short pants. So there's not going to be any meeting. If it's going to be any meeting, I hope that you can't keep Zelensky is the variable. Zelensky is going to be the guy. And I suspect that Zelensky will not behave. I think Zelensky, if let's say this meeting will take place, I suspect Zelensky will have the opportunity to play like he's the tough guy again. He's going to tell the Ukrainians how I stand up to Putin. And even though they're in the, remember, I'm going to tell him, I don't think he's going to be subdued. I don't think he's going to be normal. I don't think he's going to be decent. He is going to be over there to explain. And he can't help it. I think that's another thing. They can't help themselves. And that's their downfall. When they, you know what I'm talking about? When they get in power and they get that chutzpah too excited, and then people see for what they are, and then they go and get them, unfortunately. And then they say, why everybody picks on me? Because you motherfucker take everything these guys have and then you brag about it. What do you want them to say? I mean, and then you say, actually, I fucked all of you. And you expect them people to say, so I'm working and you're the banker of the king? Oh, motherfucker, get my pitchfork and get for him. Anyway, just kidding. All right, thank you very much for being with me again today. I'm waiting tomorrow to see if that happens, but I don't think it's going to happen. The meeting. I don't think any of these guys will show up. And if Trump and Zelensky will show up, they will be, where's Putin? We're right here. Putin, come over. Ignoring anything that the Russians said. And remember, these are not the winning part. Trump and Zelensky are not on the winning side, are on the losing side. So when you lose, you have your beak a little bit shorter, or the smaller. Like you do everything I say. This is what I impose, don't you? I mean, you can try with the chutzpah in the bazaar. For that camel, I give you, I don't know, right here a piece of glass right there. The guy can give you the camel, but you can ask, like always. Hey, baby doll. You can ask. There's nothing wrong with that. But so the other guys are like, are you crazy? Get the fuck out. Look at your face. Get out. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.